NFL playoffs are on EA Sports, and we've got a packed house here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway.
And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Jackson on first down.
Open man is Quintez Cephas.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. This one caught by Crowder. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 46-yard line.
They'll go option to the short side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Play action. Now Jackson. Gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee. And he's going to get this inside the 30. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27.
Ty Summers there on the tackle.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big connection on that one. 34 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And this play is going nowhere as he dives to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. Carr going to throw. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. From the 2, here's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ronald Jones taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Extra point splits the uprights. And it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw, it's complete into the hands of Higbee. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. You hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
They go play action with Jackson. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and the Falcons are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Going deep downfield for Ross. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons.
We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance. When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And now a throw in first down there, but it's incomplete.
You know, you're following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under. CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I'll redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here's Jackson. He gets this to Devontae Adams. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. 2nd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. It's caught here by Adams. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. To throw again is Jackson. He goes right back to Adams. That's complete. Touchdown, Packers.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Carr to throw. That's caught by Jennings. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
So a great throw right there, and what a regular season this rookie had, piloting this offense, guiding them to a division title, and they get the home date here in round 1 of the playoffs. But, Charles, how do you think they'll play it here? Will they run the same kind of wide-open offense they've run all season, or do you think that they'll try and take some pressure off of the young fella?
Oh, I think they're going high, wide, and handsome in this one. I think it's all out, just as they've been doing all year long, because I think if you try and pull it back now a little bit, you're telling that young man you don't have quite as much confidence in him as you've professed. So go ahead and continue to run your offense. Do the things that got you here. As so many defensive coaches have told you and me, all gas, no brakes. Let it rip.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Escaping the pressure right. This is caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make... And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
2nd and 6.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Higbee, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Eluding the pressure right. Open man, Higbee, the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. I'll tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Carr quick throw. It's complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. The final shot here before half for Carr. They'll roll him out, and that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Ronald Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. They'll have a first down past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard battle. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a play fake. Carr. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And it's intercepted. He's trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that payoff in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities. And this is a good one right in front of them.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Throwing again on second down. Jackson looking deep for Adams. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for Green Bay. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hip, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And this one taken in by Cephas. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It'll go as nearly a loss of 10 on 1st and goal, so a disaster there. It goes as a 9-yard loss on the sack. 2nd down and goal. Jackson on the catch. It's Crowder. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now. Jackson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. Touchdown, Falcons.
And that looked almost to be a case of, a quarterback saying, hey, I'm going to throw this as far as I can and hope you run under it. Mission accomplished.
And from where we said, if you had told me that ball was somehow going to get from point A to point B, I would have told you no way. I mean, that was an absolute cannon shot, and he still dropped it right on the money, too.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good at all.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, that's out to Hill, right side complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the front.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They'll try the right side with Jones. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
One quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Second down, another shot for Jones.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. And that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
A big play there.